Hey guys, everyone here, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another StapleSpeaks. Now I say another, there's not been a StapleSpeaks for the entire quarantine. Now a lot of people have been asking me that where is the series, and I'm just gonna answer. I intentionally took this break because number one, I've been researching for this video quite a bit. Like, this is possibly the most time I've ever put into research for a video. And B, I just wanted to learn the YouTube landscape a lot more. I took a bit of time trying to learn some editing, and that's basically what I've been doing in the past 2.5 months of quarantine. But enough of that. I'm gonna take a look at every Premier League club, and I'm gonna see the best goal they've ever scored in the Premier League. And now, when I say Premier League, I don't mean FA Cup, League Cup, Community Shield. I don't mean any of those competitions. It's solely goals that have been scored in the Premier League and nothing else. And this is the reason why you won't see Steven Gerrard, Alexis Sanchez, and many others. Now, the second thing is that this is gonna be a list of my own personal choice. So these are the goals that I believe are the best. So I've not taken into account of the history behind it or the importance of the goal. So you won't see Aguero versus QPR, you won't see Van Persie versus Aston Villa, you won't see any of those, because these are solely the goals that I believe are the best goals ever scored in the Premier League era. And the third thing is that this is a very volley heavy list. Now I'll tell you why it's a volley heavy list, because volleys are the greatest kind of goal. They are perfect when they do come off, and this is gonna be a volley heavy list, and I'm not even ashamed. I really hope you like this video, so let's just get stuck in. So we're starting with Arsenal, and I think there's only one goal that has to be, right? It's Olivier Giroud versus Crystal Palace. I mean, look at the still images that are being put up. This move started by a spilt pass, and 10 touches in 7 moves made quite possibly one of the greatest goals in Premier League history. Like, we're starting the list off with an absolute banger. Like, this is honestly one of the greatest goals I've seen. And obviously, as you know, he is the backup striker for my club Chelsea now, and he also found some time to win the World Cup with France. So I am very lucky to have Olivier Giroud in my club. There's gonna be a time when his kids are gonna look at the repertoire of goals he has scored, and they're gonna think that this kid is better than Messi. And in reality, he's back up to a 22-year-old person who's been on loan in Championship 3 years. But let's get straight into the club that we're going to talk about next, which is Aston Villa. Next we have Aston Villa, and I think this is a pretty easy one. And it's Matt Lowton versus Stoke, the wonder volley that literally announced him into the Premier League. And I didn't notice this the first time I watched it when it actually happened. He just cleared it from Ryan Shawcross. Now, Ryan Shawcross is a very scary man. In fact, I'm pretty sure he eats midfielders, cams, and wingers' legs for breakfast before he can get onto a football pitch. And he's just a scary man. Why would you decide to chest one of his clearances? And he does. And he pulls off one of the most incredible volleys ever. Anyway, he's now moved on to Burnley and is their starting right back. And this may not come as a surprise, since, you know, I don't think he's really moved, because he's joined a club who has Claret as their home kit, has Matty Vidra at cam, and are in the lower half of the table. So you can say he's not really left Aston Villa. Next we have Bournemouth, and I think we're starting off with a few easy ones. But it's Junior Stanislas. I remember when this goal happened, and this was when I believe you couldn't score from a corner. You just couldn't. And I saw Junior Stanislas do this against Man United with David De Gea in goal, and I'm like, wow, he actually has the literal cheek to pull off a corner goal. Now, a lot of people say it wasn't intentional, but I think when you look at how he was positioning himself, it was pretty apparent he was trying to go for goal, which is crazy. However, he still had Bournemouth to this day, and that corner goal is literally Bournemouth folklore, I think, until the day they die. So next we have Brighton. Now Brighton have not really had a lot of goals, and a lot of their goals are actually pretty good. So this is the first one where I actually had to think, and I had to watch the Premier League compilations, which by the way, that's my main source of research. That's why it took me so long, because each club's like 20 minutes long. But anyway, back to Brighton. I've gone for Jose Izquierdo's goal versus West Ham. This is a brilliant one. The ball comes and he's at a very tight angle and he's outside the box. So the most logical decision would be to try and shoot, right? Obviously not, but he still did it, and he curled it top bins, which is the greatest thing I've seen, and it's such a satisfying goal to watch. And again, like most of the players, he's still playing in this. He's still playing, and he's actually still at Brighton. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's their starting left winger as well. So now we move on to the next club. Now this is the first real challenge, because Burnley have quite a few goals and I didn't expect that. However, I have gone for Vizzel's absolute dream. Obviously Liam Vizzel I'm talking about. Dean Marney. It's just his Dean Marney, isn't it? Dean Marney versus Manchester City. How could I not pick this one? It's like a corner, the ball comes out, just a smash. It's an actual smash. He's literally split the entire defense with a shot, and that is the power of Dean Marney. Dean Marney, the Barmy Army Dean Marney, God almighty. And he is currently still playing. I found this out. Plays for Fleetwood Town in League 2, I want to say. And yeah, big up Dean Marney is still playing to this day. So next we have my club, Chelsea, and I don't know how Michael Essien's not made this list, but I found possibly, I think this could be one of the best ones on this list. It's the 90s, and it's this player called Mario Stanic, who I never remembered played for our club. I remember that he was definitely like a Croatian legend, at least. I knew that, but I never knew he played for Chelsea, and apparently I think he scored the greatest goal. I just looked at this and I was like, surely he's not gonna shoot from there, surely he isn't, and he does. Mario Stanic, he gets the ball from a pass, and you know what, he just decides, you know what, I'm gonna juggle it. I'm going to juggle this ball, and then I'm 35 yards out. You know what, why don't we volley it? And you know what, why don't we aim for the top bins? I lost my mind when this went in, because it's quite frankly one of the best goals I've ever seen. And nowadays he is a scout for Club Brugge, and he apparently was involved in the bringing of Ungwana Samatta to the club. So big up Mario Stanic, you deserved your place on this list. Now next we have Crystal Palace. Again, we have another easy one, Andros Townsend, as we all know. Another goal that I absolutely lost my mind when this went in. I watched this game live actually on TV, and I saw the ball spill out. Andros Townsend takes the shot and my jaw just drops. It's nearly won the Pushkas, and it lost out to Daniel Shori's goal, which is actually a pretty good overhead kick. It's just a bit good goal, but Andros Townsend, this is an absolute brilliant goal. And as we all know, he's still at Crystal Palace, starting for them, and I think this is one of those moments that he's gonna take to the grave and say, you know what, I scored that goal and I single-handedly ruined Manchester City. Now next we have Everton. Now I'm not going to be going for any of the usual suspects. Bill Jagielka basically, but he was very close. Bill Jagielka is an honorable mention. However, I've gone for Steve Watson's goal versus Bolton. Now, this is a 2000s goal, early 2000s, and this is an absolute wonder of an overhead kick. Like, the ball's coming from behind of him, and he just keeps his eye on the ball. You know, managers say, keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on the ball when it's in the air. He literally took that to an extreme. He didn't even see the keeper, he never even looks at the goal, and he just keeps his eye on the ball and then decides to overhead kick it. And it ends up in the top bins, of course it does. And currently he's managing York City, who are in League 1. Steve Watson has earned his place in the Premier League Goal Hall of Fame. Now next we have Leicester City, and I've chosen Robbie Savage. I've chosen Robbie Savage versus Newcastle. It was either him or literally like 1 out of 3 Muzzy Izzet goals. Muzzy Izzet has scored a few bangers in the Premier League. Now Robbie Savage, he has scored a pretty good solo goal actually, and he goes past like 5 people and then fakes off keeper and scores, which is an incredible goal. It's just a shame that he's ruined his career by moving to Stockport Town in the 10th division of English football. I remember this, like the article that said Robbie Savage was saying that John Terry should be proud of his career. Mate, you've just gone to Stockport Town in the 10th division when you used to be at the top level of English football. Do you understand how bad you have had to downgrade to do that? It blows my mind. It really does. Now next we have Liverpool. Now this is where things get really weird. I'm not going with your usual suspects, your Fowlers, your Barnes, your Gerrards, your Luis Suarez. Like I'm not about that life. I'm not. This is gonna be the first goal against my precious Chelsea, and it is Jermaine Pennant. I'm just thinking myself, I chose Jermaine Pennant. I could have chosen a Liverpool legend, and I chose the man who appeared on Jeremy Kyle. Like literally, again, it's another beautiful smash. It's a smash. It's very fast. It's just a direct hit, and it just hits the bar and goes in, and it's a satisfying goal to watch, ain't it? Now we all know what Jermaine Pennant is. Slouching on Jeremy Kyle. God, I can't believe Jermaine Pennant. I never thought I'd see the day. English Jermaine Pennant on Jeremy Kyle with his girlfriend, and Jeremy Kyle is also like, he's like coming up to him and like touching him like, oh my god, I just got this free piece of real estate. I've actually got someone who looks like they shower every second day at least, and he's like just drooling over him, and it's quite frankly the weirdest reality TV episode I've ever been forced to watch. Now next we have Man City. Man City have quite a few good goals, don't they? I was so close picking Vincent Kompany's goal that won them the league, but not because it won them the league, but just because of the fact that it is an amazing smash. But I'm gonna go with another solo goal, and I mean Man City solo goals. There's only one man you can call, right? It's the big Georgian, Georgie Kinkladze versus Southampton. A beautiful solo goal. He like takes out so many people. He makes one person go sliding, and currently he has quite a few jobs. So he is a football agent. He makes wine currently. He's a pretty prolific winemaker in Georgia, and he also is the sporting director for a club called Anorthesis, which honestly sounds more like a math equation than a proper football club. Now here is where the controversy starts, doesn't it? Man United. Now, if I had to pick a single club who scored like the most great goals, it has to be Man United. Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Giggs, Gary Neville, Phil Neville. Like, there are so many so brilliant goals I could have chosen. And I've gone for Wayne Rooney's goal versus Newcastle. Now, this one, it just curved so much. It just curved so much. It's like if the ball starts with the post of the other side, if it starts at a far post of corner, it just curves to the other side and makes the most satisfying goal I think I've ever seen. And he just smashed it, didn't he? And as we all know, again, he is the player coach of Derby County in the championship. And if the championship season doesn't get cancelled, maybe we'll see Wayne Rooney back at Old Trafford. I mean, he's already gone back to Old Trafford, but this will be like competitive. Okay, that was also God, what am I trying to get? At a Premier League game where points are at stake, we could see Wayne Rooney trying to get points for Derby County versus the club that literally made him a superstar. Now next we have Newcastle. Now Newcastle surprisingly had a lot of good goals, but I remembered quite a few off the top of my head. Hatem Ben Arfa, Tiote versus Arsenal's incredible goal. Alan Shearer versus Everton, that's another one. But I have decided to go for another goal against Chelsea. Papis Cisse. We all know the goal. It is quite frankly one of the most perfect volleys ever, and I think this could be my favorite goal on this list because it's just a perfect goal. It's the awkward angle, it's the curve, the volley, the skill, the fact that it absolutely makes a mug out of Petr Cech. And it looks like it actually curves twice, to be honest, when I look back at it. And not as many people know, but he is still playing, and he's playing at Aliyanaspor in the Turkish league. So he'll be facing washed up strikers such as Demba Ba and Daniel Sturridge on a daily basis, which is an incredible thing because now the Turkish league has become like this sort of inviting place for washed up Premier League strikers. Now next we have Norwich. Now this is a pretty easy one. If there's one goal that's been absolutely tabulated in Norwich history, it's Yusuf Safri's goal versus Newcastle. 40 yards out, belter. I seriously went onto his Wikipedia page just to check, where he's at. And his Wikipedia page literally starts with Yusuf Safri is a former Moroccan player who scored an absolute belter versus Newcastle. That's literally his entire Wikipedia page. He's a club legend, and currently he's the assistant manager of Morocco's biggest team, Raja Casablanca, which also produced new Chelsea player Hakim Ziyech. Now let's move into Sheffield United. Now we have Sheffield United. Now this one was a pretty easy one. Phil Jagielka versus Middlesbrough. The goal that proved to people that, Phil Jagielka, he's not just a solid young centre-back. He has a belter of foot, doesn't he? 40-yard volley. It's his boyhood club, and he joined his boyhood club again, Sheffield United, in the last summer transfer window, and it's pretty beautiful, because I was reading about it, he's Sheffield United's first player to win signing of the season twice, and that is incredible because, Sheffield United, they are flying high, and Phil Jagielka is a pretty good person if you want to have in the dressing room, trying to encourage your young players. And yeah, that is a perfect way to announce yourself. If a goal like that is what you do to get onto the big stage, then big up Phil Jagielka. Next we have Southampton. Now I went into this absolutely, I was pretty sure it's going to be Matt Letizia versus Wimbledon. However, that's not the goal I've gone for. I have gone for Mathetis here because he's the greatest Southampton player of all time. Let's not kid ourselves. I went for this goal against Newcastle, which is a much better goal for me because he just Bergkamp flicks it over two people and just volleys it in the bottom corner. Like, what's more perfect than that, man? He just Bergkamp flicked people. Bergkamp flicking. That's like Balassi flicking, but like 2 years before it, I want to say. But he's currently a pundit for Sky Sports and he just floats around, doesn't he? And he's also a pretty loved person in the Premier League overall, but I believe he lacked ambition. He should have moved away from Southampton, and if he did, if he won a Premier League, he'd truly be considered and truly be talked about in the same regards as Thierry Henry, Eric Cantona. Next we've got Dele Alli versus Spurs. Dele Alli versus Crystal Palace. Again, I remember when this goal went in, and everyone is like, "Oh, look at this kid! You know, he's got bars and he's got skills coming out of his head and coming out of his ears, and he's gonna be the next big thing." And I'm like, this guy is the worst rated player in League One for MK Dons. I don't see anything he could do in the Premier League. And then he just scores this goal, and I'm just shut up. I'm actually just shut up at that point because it is a good goal. Again, like the match this year, it was a Bergkamp flick volley into the bottom corner. It's just that this one was a little more insane, wasn't it? Because it was outside the box, and he just makes everyone just be like, okay, this kid actually could be something special, couldn't he? He actually could do something with his career. And then in the end, he just ended up being Jesse Lingard before Jesse Lingard became what we know as Jesse Lingard. And now we have Watford. Now, I've gone for Gavin Mahon's goal versus Portsmouth. Again, this is another pretty easy one since Watford's main goals are only God, I forget his name. Pereira? I want to say Pereira. Yeah, Pereira just long shots. Just literal Pereira long shots. That's the literal entire compilation. I've gone for Gavin Mahon versus Portsmouth. It's an insane volley. It's like an actual insane volley. Like you never thought he'd pull it off, and he only just went and did it. Now he works as a sports consultant. You know, we have some variety on what people are doing. It is a little weird, you know, and yeah, it's a good goal. And big up Gavin Mahon, he's doing some stuff in the sports consulting industry. Now we've got West Ham, and I've gone for Trevor Sinclair's goal versus Derby County. I didn't go for Ticanio versus Wimbledon, that was very close. I didn't go for Payet versus Crystal Palace, that was another one very close. I didn't go for Payet versus Middlesbrough as well, that was another one that I really could have done. But this one is just the perfect blend of passing goal and the insane finish. It's a corner, and then this is early Lampard as well. I didn't know this until I rewatched the clip to try and make sure if it's the best goal. Frank Lampard. So basically, the corner comes in. Frank Lampard flicks it up over the keeper, not over the keeper, over the defenders, and then Trevor Sinclair just bangs in an overhead kick. Like it's the perfect pass into an insane finish. Now he does play Sunday League or non-league football, as it's called in civilian terms, and also he was a racist man, and that is not a good thing, is it? I mean literally the other person I had to choose was Paulo Di Canio. God, what's with West Ham and racist people? I really don't know. I don't know, it's not the club, it's just that the players that they sign sometimes just end up being absolute nutcases, and that is not good. I mean, what, we got Julian Dix, obviously Trevor Sinclair, Paulo Di Canio. Like these are, I just named 3 examples off the top of my head, and all of them are absolute nutters. But now we move on to the last club. So now we've got the last club, Wolves, and I've gone with Alex Ray versus Bolton. Now, Ruben Neves, I could have gone Ruben Neves, but all his best goals are scored in the championship, so that doesn't count. But I've gone for Alex Ray versus Bolton. It's simple volley, straight top in. It's like it's a good goal. I Nothing else I really could choose from because all the other goals were like just really good top corner finishes of chips from the inside the box. And he is a Scottish pundit, and he's a Rangers legend, and he's like the person, pro Rangers in an entire dressing room full of people who love Celtic. So big up Alex Ray. Now to the outro. Anyway guys, that's the end of the video. I really hope you liked this video because it took me a lot of time to research, and I had fun researching though because I learned about some goals that I never would have until I researched for this video. But anyway guys, that's it from me, and until the next video, peace.